So the next thing that we're going to play with is, again, a thing you're probably never going to need until you need it, and then you're like, wow, this is amazing, I can do it, woohoo! So we're going to import data into Matlab from Excel. So I have this fake data I made. I used my name generator from before where I made fake names of things. So I have some names, and then I have the number of cats they have, and then dogs they have, and their GPA, since clearly those things are obviously related. Now, if I just double click on this, I can do all this like manual importing of blah, 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 which is fine. But I'm not going to worry about that. There's a function in Matlab called read table. So I used to use structures. I have officially moved to tables. I am super mature now. All the cool kids use tables and not structures. So I just want you to know that. So the way that you do this is it's just really straightforward. It's just read table. So my info read table. So I now have a 50 by 4 table that goes all the way down. And what's neat about this is I can have different data types within the table. So this is text, and this is, integers, and this is integers, and this is, whatever you call it, thingies, doubles, I'm assuming. I don't know if this is actually stored as integers. I'd have to go into it. I don't know if I actually care that much. It doesn't seem to tell me how it is stored. No, it's not going to tell me, and I just deeply don't care. So anyway, I've got this table. So tables are pretty great because I can access them just pretty easily, and I can use them with the logic that I've learned on how to do stuff with matrices. So for example, if I want to know, who has 3 cats? Well, first of all, I need to know, how do I figure out who has how many cats in general? So if I have something called, if I've called my table my info, if I go so the big key here is the dot, the period. So if I want to know what's going on with cats, you see how I put the period down and it has this like little funny symbol here. Those are all the structure thingies that go along with my info. So there's a structure called my info, and it has these certain aspects. I've never actually used properties. But clearly, name, cats, dogs, and GPA. So if I just hit myinfo.cats and I hit enter, it is going to tell me all of the cats values that are in my table right there. So 3003, blah, 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 blah. Good to go. Okay, so from this, I could say, okay, so where is my cats? Who of these people have 3 cats? So where is my cats equal to 3? And it's going to give me a true, false, true, false, false, true, false, 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 blah, 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 true, whatever. Okay, and now this is just going to give me that true, false thingy, and from here it's actually pretty straightforward. I just need to say my info dot, except I can't spell, my info dot name at those particular locations, maybe? There we go. So there we go. Those are the people who have that many cats. I feel like at some point I had a find function in there. It gives me the same thing. So find where that's true versus just without the find gives me the same answer. So I think it works either way. But see, look, this is how many people have 3 cats. Isn't that fantastic? You can do stuff. And what if I want to know if they have 3 cats and they have a GPA above, I don't know, and this is case sensitive, of course, a GPA over 3. Oh, wait. Oh, I can't do 2 doubles. It has to be a single. Look at that. There are 6 people who have 3 cats and a GPA of over 3. Well, I mean, that's clearly an indication that you need to have more cats, right? Because yeah, I don't really know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's a kind of a neat little thing that you can do. So basically everything that you already know how to do with matrices, you can do with tables. Okay. Now the only reason you would use tables in real life in Excel or in Matlab is because you have different data types. This is definitely going to take up a lot more space. Do you see how the table is huge? It's a 50 by 4, so 50 times 4, but I'm going to divide it by 30, 90, 13, hold on, 93, 13 divided by 50 times 4. So that's 46 bytes per entry. So everything's being held as more than a double. So, I mean, there's a lot of data that is getting stored in here. So if we're talking about data types and how much storage, using a table is definitely overkill, especially if all of these are numbers. Like if I was just looking at, a regular 50 by 4 matrix, like if I was just going to do practice, rand a 50 by 4 matrix of random numbers, that's only going to take up 1600 bytes as opposed to 9300 bytes. So the reason that we don't use tables starting out is because they're unwieldy and they take up a lot of space. And again, not a big deal, except whenever it starts to become a big deal. So if you get used to using it, you kind of potentially put yourself at a disadvantage. So anyway, that's just something to kind of think about as a comparison. I think everything else is pretty straightforward. If you want to sort, you can sort, and again, if you try to sort by just sorting, if you sort my info, it's going to do the thing, maybe, let's see, is it going to yell at me? Why is it yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? Oh, undefined, sort for table. Oh, good, use sort rows instead. So you know how when we would like sort matrices and it would do that weird thing? Here, I'll pull practice back. And it would sort, by each individual column separately, so we lost the integrity of the rows because each individual column would get sorted. It doesn't even let us pretend to do that with a table. So, oh, that's such a relief. Okay, I'm starting to become a fan of the table in spite of their unwieldiness. It's just like with all things, whenever we make things more user-friendly, they become more unwieldy. But, oh man, it's kind of nice not to have to think ahead on things. Okay, so sort rows, my info. This should automatically sort by the first column. So those are the names of all the people. If I want to sort by something else, see, it's just suggesting, do you want to sort by cats, dogs, GPA, or name? I'm going to sort by dogs. So I can see who has, I was going to say who has the most dogs. In order to do that, let's sort by ascend or descend. Let's sort by descending order. There we go. I'm sorting by descending order so I can see who has the most dogs. I wonder if I can sort by more stuff. Like if I can sort again by, I don't think it's going to let me. No, it doesn't know how to do that. I wonder if I can do it here. Dogs. And then GPA? No, okay. I was trying to do like a multi-sort thingy, but I don't think it's gonna let me do that. That's okay. Alrighty, so dogs descend, so I'm just sorting by the descending number of dogs, which is pretty fabulous. I mean, what else could you possibly want to do? You can find the, mean number of dogs. So yeah, pretty much anything that you've been able to do with a regular matrix, you can do with the table. The biggest thing is that instead of referring specifically to rows and columns, you're going to use the dot to refer to the name of the title. Now, all of this worked, just so you know, because in my original Excel file, I did have, oh, thank you. I'm going to open this up outside of Matlab so you can see how I had this set up, just in case you want to set up something similar on your own. I just like you would in any kind of Excel file, I have the name, cats, dogs, GPA. So as long as you have titles here, it assumes that the first line is a title and everything below it is the stuff. And there's a lot more that you can get into, and you can give it all kinds of rules and import special ways, but if you really need to know that, you'll go look it up. This is just to give you a basic joy in getting it started. So I hope you had some fun with that.